It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Ooh. Yeah. And I'm feeling good.
This is our performance showcase. I hope that some of you will be joining us next time. Our next class starts on January 8th. So there's plenty of time if you haven't read some lessons, finish up reading your lessons and to grab a partner and choose a scene. We usually do about 3.5-minute scenes and to get started working on it before that January 8th class so that you're ready. And I'm here to help in any way that I can to get you started. We've had some brand new people in the other class who really came a long way in just 5 short weeks. So I know that can happen to you. This class is so important because it really does teach you everything you need to be able to do in a self-tape audition. It's so important that you have this experience in front of a camera, that you have to make a great performance just from here to here to really feel that you're connecting to someone that you're acting with, and to get used to talking to someone remotely and to acting with someone remotely, because lots of times we don't have anybody in the house that we can actually do our auditions with when you have to do a script. So this you get all that experience in class. And we really spend time in the 5 weeks digging deep into how you create a character and to get that subtext going and to understand how your character fits into the plot of the story. That's really important stuff. And you have to do it so quickly when you get an audition. Sometimes you get an audition just the day before and you have to do it overnight and send in a tape the next morning. This 5 weeks helps you to really get those skills so that you can do it really fast. I'm going to ask everybody to share a little bit with you so you can get to know them before they do their performance. Everybody's at a sort of different place in their journey. And so I'd love for them to explain that. Jonathan's my assistant, and he's the one that got me started doing this class during the pandemic. He said, you know what, you really should be doing a Zoom class. And that's why I started doing it. And boy, it's really been such a wonderful experience for me because I just love working with people all over the world. And it's been so much fun. Jonathan, introduce yourself.
I've been working with Winnie now for 2 years, coming up on 3 years, which is crazy. Before working with Winnie, I've been acting more as a hobby for 10 years before Winnie. And I was really relying on just like natural talents and understanding of things. I wanted to be one of those guys that hit the top with no help. And it was very ego driven and just not a good route to take. And I think right before the pandemic hit, I decided to take things more seriously. I started looking for a coach, looking for a mentor, someone that I could work closely with. And I found Winnie. And I think it's nerve-wracking when you decide to be vulnerable and let other people watch as you prepare and build. And that's the cool thing. One of the cool things that I learned is nobody's perfect in the beginning. Nobody's perfect when they first get the script, their first read through, their second read through. Nobody's perfect. And when you have someone with a lot of experience like Winnie, who is just naturally gifted, and you can see it every single week, the way she picks up on things and breaks things down and points out things that I don't think I'd ever find on my own, or definitely not as quickly as she does. My performances have just skyrocketed, and they're so much more detail and layered. So I started in Chicago, and now I'm out in LA. We're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, he's here now.
It's been a good time. It's been a good run so far. So
I'm Becca. I'm from the Philippines. I've been with Winnie almost 2 years now. I think next month would be my 2nd year with Winnie. And I've been involved with theater since 2017. And when I saw a post of her hosting a Zoom class, and I wondered, is it worth it? I mean, it's overseas, and I'm not sure if it fits with my own initial understanding of acting. And then the next month, when I'm still thinking about it, the audits came up, the Twitch audits. It's like, okay, I guess this is a good sign from him. So I'll take it next year, and I did, and it's a wonderful experience. It really helped me deeper understanding of acting, and not just like, oh, it's not presentational, it's not just talent, it's not natural talent, it's trial and error, trying new things. I think the biggest learning I've had so far in this journey is learning how to be satisfied with my own progress. And also, I think I'm at the point where I'm no longer afraid of failing. Like what Jonathan said before, like, this place is the safest place that you can fail spectacularly. Like, there's no judgment at all. Like, if you fail, Winnie will only point it out so you could be better, and not like shame you on like, oh, you didn't get this. No, you can get this if you did this. Like, there's a way to get out of the pit hole and then work through it. This class taught me to take constructive criticism very well and not take things personally. This is for my improvement, and Winnie is the nicest, blunt person I know as a teacher.
I really hate that word failing. I don't think there's any failures in acting class. I think it's all a lesson. Everything is a lesson, because when something comes out that you need work on, that is like it's pointing a light onto ways to improve. It's showing you what you need to get better at in order to be more successful. And so it's a wonderful thing to not do something well in class, because then I can see it and say, oh, this is what we need to work on. This is going to really help you. You're not failing. You know, you may not have been able to do exactly what you wanted to do, or you didn't get across what you wanted to get across, but it's all a matter of knowing where to take the next step. Where is that next stepping stone? Whenever a teacher says to you, I think, we need to do more of this, or I think that, you shouldn't do that so much, you should do this. It's always like, oh, good. Oh, good. I'm so glad you said that to me. I'm so glad that we found that together, because it really is a joint process of us finding what you need to do to become a better actor, of taking that next step in your journey.
Hello, my name is Leanna, and I've started taking this class several months ago. I've already learned a lot and seen so much improvement, and I think that this class has a positive influence on other aspects of your life as well. And I know for me, before I started taking the class, I was struggling a lot with the fear of making mistakes, and I think that you learn from your mistakes, and I think this class is teaching me how to take constructive criticism as well. And I really appreciate having that environment to work in that's not judgmental and welcoming. And I think I've learned so much about thinking characters' thoughts and not letting your own anxious thoughts get in the way. Instead, I have to just think the character's thoughts, and just everything's a reaction. And I think it's taught me to be a better listener as well, even in other aspects of life. So
that's fantastic. Yeah, acting class is really good for everyday life as well, because we're all acting every day. I mean, not that we're being fake or anything, we're being real. And that's what we have to do when we're acting, is we have to be real. But we are always reacting to other people, and we always have an objective. There's always a reason for us to talk, and there's always a reason for us to try to connect to the other person. And then when you realize that, you start communicating better, you start connecting a little bit more. And it's a wonderful thing to suddenly feel like you are actually hearing what somebody else is saying, and they're hearing you, and you are interacting with one another.
I'm Joanna. I am the other nun of this showcase. This is only my second class, so I think I'm the newest one here. And I think the most amazing thing about taking acting class is all the stuff I'm learning about myself, and the weird habits that I have, like breaking up words when I'm trying to act. And it's just so cool to me it's like, who is this person? Like, why is she doing this? Talking about myself. And so it's like a process of self-discovery, because what I'm also discovering is I think I'm more of an internal out kind of actor.
Every single character is going to bring up new challenges for you. Now, this character is just a lot more different than the other characters were, because I believe that everything comes from the inside, obviously from what you're thinking, and I think thoughts create emotions. So you can't try to look a certain way. You can't try to put it on from the outside. And even for me telling you to feel like you have that broomstick up your spine, all the way up your spine, that it's not what I want you to do first, even though sometimes that can help, just for you to find the posture and then start to think the thoughts. It will start to make that person come to life. But for the most part, it comes from the thoughts, right? How dare you? I am superior to you. That, for me, that just brings me up. Just brings me to this place of wanting to look down on somebody rather than to go, please, oh, come on, believe me.
Right.
That's a whole different energy, right?
Right.
But it's this particular 5 weeks is a whole different lesson to learn, isn't it?
Yeah,
and that will
lovely.
keep happening. And hopefully you choose other things that are challenging for you. And we just keep taking step forward, step forward, step forward. And you're doing great. I'm very, very happy with your progress.
I'm Maria. I started out in this class in September of 2020 in Seattle, and then stayed in class in February of this year, moved to LA. It's been quite a journey. I think for me, the biggest thing that I've learned overall is that all of us contain all these multitudes, and each of our characters is a different combination of all of these different pieces that we have within us. And so through understanding our characters' points of view and their perspectives, we find how to bring that out with their thoughts. And then also the controlling your thoughts things. We have so much control over the way that we think. And so we have using that tool in real life as well has been really exciting. But just having this community and knowing that all of these people, and in the AM class too, all these people in my corner when I moved down here was amazing and so helpful. And now I've even found the confidence to start writing my own work, and I'm so much more confident in my auditions. And it really is logging into that first Zoom class is a little nerve-wracking when you hit join and you're excited, but also a little bit scared. And then you see everyone's welcoming faces, and it's so lovely and welcoming, and it's a great place to be. So don't be scared.
Thank you, Maria. The whole idea about having control over your thoughts, I think that's such a mind-blowing realization. Because people have said to me, I can't help it. My own thoughts just keep coming in. I just can't help it. But the thing is, you all get to choose what you think about, right? If I say right now, let's everybody think about a pineapple. Okay. Now, can you see it in your mind? Can you see all those prickly little things and the little stuff on the top? You can make yourself think about a pineapple right now, and you don't need to think about anything else. Okay. And that's the case when you're acting. You're just thinking about what your character's thinking about. Acting is so helpful, and it can help you when you're thinking the wrong thoughts in your own life. When you really need to be confident and you're feeling not so confident, if you just think confident thoughts, you're going to come off as being more ready to do what you have to do. And you will be. I do love that saying, is if you think you're going to be a failure, you're right. But if you think that you can do something, you have at least a chance, right? That I'm going to do this. I am the right person for this job. You're on your way to doing that.
I have been here I feel like now it's been 2 years. I think I'm a 2-year vet now. It feels like it's 2 months now. And the most important thing about this class that I've learned since I have started is having control. So for me, it's dominion over my character. It's assuming everything about this person, and just to believe that nothing else exists except for this objective that's going on. And I have to keep on reiterating that in every instance that I come and perform. So it's not something that can be done without the class, though. You know, you can't just do it like on your own. I mean, you could try, but having that guiding figure to kind of pick your mind when it like loses track is so important. And I feel like it's definitely helped me, because now when I am auditioning, I can really actualize or really like hear more specific like instructions or the tendencies that I tend to, you know, blurt out and do all that stuff. And, you know, it corrects me and it rounds me as we go on. So it's like she always says, the gym work, you got to work on it all the time. So this class is hugely important. You could probably say there are other classes, but I've been to other classes, Twitch streamers, and other classes suck. Winnie's class is the greatest class that is out there. I'm letting you know now. You just got to come to Winnie's class and forget about other classes. But no, I've learned a great deal, and I'm continuing to learn, and I'm continuing to get used to being solely the character and just concentrating on what it is that I am here to do as the character. And the more I take the class, the more I am more comfortable being in that mindset throughout. You know, before it was thinking about other stuff, but now I can focus my thinking. Here for the long run, for sure. Even after the big money deal comes. All right, guys, don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving. You know?
You got to still be in the gym. You got to still be in the gym.
You got to still be in the gym.
Yeah, everybody has their own challenges as actors. I mean, everybody has a different challenge because we're all different human beings. Now, what Godwin's biggest challenge is, he's a very expressive person, and he just has a lot of ways of moving his body and being completely involved, but that energy sometimes needs to be focused in. His character this time around is a mathematician. And how many mathematicians do you know that are all over the place? You know, they're very focused people, and, you know, they're used to working on intricate problems and, you know, focusing in on those numbers and everything like that. So instead of just trying to be expressive, which sometimes you have a tendency to do, Godwin, which is wonderful. You are very expressive, you know, but it isn't appropriate for your character. You know, they have a different way of being expressive. I mean, the words are always need to be brought to life, but from your character's perspective, from their view of the world. You know,
I've been working with Winnie for about 3 years, and I will say with this class over the last 3 years, I've learned so much about acting, and she's given me the best foundation that I could have as an actor. With Winnie, she has really taught me, you know, what the work is about before the actual performance, you know, the thoughts, the subtext, you know, how to connect your lines together and what's really going on. And she has so much insight when it comes to, you know, either reading a script or just watching you do the first performance. I've never seen someone watch someone do a performance the first time and already understand what's going on and the goals of the character and what's happening automatically. So she has full insight and so much knowledge and is able to help her students in a way that makes it digestible. And she's not, you know, she gives notes for you to get better, and not in a harsh, you know, excuse me, like a jackass way, but she gives notes for you to understand it and understand what you need to do better and how to go about with certain lines, and just to make it more of a variety while you're, you know, giving your lines, doing your performance. So if you are hesitant about joining the class, don't be. She's a blessing for your career, whether it's just a hobby or something that you're really serious about. She has taught me so much over these last few years, and wouldn't be doing it without her.
My name is Ryan. This is my 5th class with the session with Winnie. Not a lot of acting experience really until I actually found the subreddit, which has been a blessing in disguise. This session, well, actually every session, I see myself grow and get better, especially with the thorough feedback that we always get from Winnie. It's always amazing to me how certain teachers just tell you you're great and you're doing so well, or just like a quick comment and then it's off to the next one. Whereas Winnie will spend so much time. Sometimes it's embarrassing how much time you might feel just taking time just to get the line right, but you get that line right. This session, I really saw the importance of having that a conversation when you're having your monologues, so that it actually feels like a real situation that's happening instead of just words that you're thinking and saying to the void. I also saw how when I took the pressure off myself to do good and to be just to get it right and just try to have fun with it, I was doing better, and better to have fun with it and not to take it as seriously, like nerve-wracking, giving you anxiety over it. Being this class has definitely been a great experience that I won't ever regret, for everything that's helping me grow and become.
I've been working with Winnie for, I guess, like 2 years now. And it's been awesome. I've taken so many acting classes over the years, and it always felt like there was something missing. Like it was all this like flowery language about acting, and I didn't feel like I had a concrete toolbox of, what do I actually need to do to become this character? What do I actually need to be like feeling in the scene or thinking? And then I found Winnie during the pandemic and started jumping in and just taking classes. And honestly, it like totally changed how I feel acting, how I approach a scene. And I just feel so much more confident in just the knowledge and tools that she has given me. As well as just this community is really special. Everybody's really supportive, and it's just really cool to see people on their acting journeys who are so supportive of each other and just hang out because they like each other, but also are willing to, help each other, give you feedback if you need it on other things. And yeah, it's just, this whole class is just such a positive experience. And if you're nervous, don't be, because everyone is so nice and you're just going to have a blast.
It is a great community, and we help each other. Whether you're brand new or you've been here for a while, it's a great experience to work with a brand new person if you're around for a while, because you've got to communicate some of the ideas that I'm teaching. You have to learn patience, and you know what? You have to be working with all kinds of people when you're in a job. When you get hired, you have no idea sometimes who you're going to be doing a scene with, even if you're a regular on a series, because then there are guests that come onto the series that are of all different backgrounds. And so it takes some practice. It takes some patience to be able to do that. And here we are open to helping one another. You're not always able to do that on set, because if you start telling some other actor what to do, sometimes it's not always welcome. But just learning how to do a great performance when you can't help the other person, that's a good experience as well. So it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so I'm quite a bit newer than Ashley. Prior to that, I didn't have much acting experience under my belt, but similar to Ashley, I saw Winnie's page during COVID, and the way that she was teaching just really resonated with me, and I had always wanted to get into it. So I did end up just jumping into the classes because I actually had watched some like live streams myself, and I saw all of the other like participants in the class being so like encouraging and everything, and it just felt really like opening and welcoming. So I joined, and yeah, just everything that I've learned so far has been so really like invaluable. And I've learned so much from Winnie and everyone else in this class, just about really like the basics of acting and even more advanced like acting skills. So it's really like a great class to get like all around kind of different acting skills and auditioning skills, like Winnie was saying. I've really learned kind of how to put together a self-tape from Winnie as well, and all of the lessons that she puts online too. So yeah, the class has really been just so valuable to me.
Great. I think that's always a good thing. If you haven't had any experience in acting class, I don't have to undo anything from anybody. And you can come in here fresh and just learn my techniques as they come. And I think that you'll find that it's really effective. Here's a brand new person. It's Koji. Koji, say hello to everybody.
My name is Koji. I'm 22. Yeah, this is basically my first month of ever acting. Before that, I was just an anxiety-filled kid. I always thought of what emotion I should have when someone's like telling me something. I don't know, I always overthought situations, but now I know how to have like objective and stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of real life applications in acting that I never really considered. So I feel like I learned so much the past month, not only about myself, but about how I can improve and learn about these characters in the backgrounds. I can empathize with people better, and I've learned so much. I appreciate everything I learned here. It's changed my life. It's changed my work situation. I know how to be more direct and but polite, and like, I don't know, I understand situations better, and I like that so much. I feel like I owe it to acting, so, and to Winnie. So thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you can say that, because acting, we all act all the time. And the thing is that we have to understand that actually communicating with people takes the same kind of direct communication in real life as it does when you're acting. Because what are we trying to do when we're acting is we're trying to be as real as possible. So if we aren't used to communicating with other people, acting can teach you how to do that. And it really is helpful in all areas. You know, I'm working on making my lessons into a book, and the first sentence is, this is a book for people who act, and that means it's for everyone. It's for every single person in the world, because we're all acting all the time. We're all playing different characters at different times. Sometimes we're playing the role of a mother, or sometimes we're playing the role of an employee. You know, we're always playing different roles, whether we're acting or we're in real life.
So yeah, my name is Ayrton. I'm from Brazil. I'm 23. I've been acting with Winnie for like 14 months now. Before joining this class, I had some previous experience with like my local theater, but at the time I felt like, you know, just as Ashley felt like, you know, something's missing. What do I need to do? Maybe there's, and then I thought, well, maybe there's someone out there on the internet, you know, with a group of people trying to act online. So let's just check it out. And then I found this, this incredible community, and it really changed my perspective on acting. Not only that, also like what Koji said, acting with Winnie like sort of taught me a lot of life lessons, you know, things that I can carry with me during my day-to-day things. So yeah, I feel like I haven't met another teacher who's as like precise with acting as Winnie. It's definitely life-changing, and you will meet like really incredible people here, I think. And if you're a foreigner, just like I am, I know it might be like a little weird to get into the community from people you're not a part of the culture. This community was the first people, Americans, that I had contact with, like in terms of talking and having like a relationship with, working together with. And at first I was really, really anxious and stuff, but I found that everyone here is very, very supportive, and it made me feel very comfortable. And I learned so much from each scene partner that I worked with and with Winnie. So I don't know, I'm a completely different person now, thanks to Winnie, and in a good way.
Ayrton is working on an audition for Yale, a David Geffen MFA program. And they sent him a video of the graduates of the MFA program. Tell him what you felt about the.
It's just that I felt kind of shocked that a lot of the monologues I saw was lacking like objective. They were wasting their words a lot, and some people just had like dead eyes. There was just nothing going on. You know, it was weird. Like their voice was like kind of in tune with what the character was doing, but you could see that their eyes was just playing dead. There was just not anything going on. And I was like, it's interesting to think that, you know, MFA students from a very accredited college are not doing what I expected them to do. And people from this class, which is an online class, and even beginners, they know, like, I feel like they know more and they connect a little bit better than people who spent like 3 years working on this at this incredible school or anything like that.
And you know what? I'm sitting here watching you guys. I'm looking into your eyes. And if I believe it, I will say I do. If I don't believe it, I will say I don't, you know? And so we will do whatever we need to do to make your whole self come alive, because I believe in acting from the inside out. And from your inside thoughts and your feelings and everything, they come out of your eyes, and it makes everything come alive. And that's what, even the most beginning people, I expect that of you. And I'm calling that out of you as much as I possibly can. And, you know, it's everybody takes a step forward in that, or I don't let up. Or I'm still making you work it, and I'll meet with you extra because I got to see it. I got to see it happen. And everybody does. It always happens. I can't underestimate anyone. You know, I always expect more from you than you expect of yourself. And I always get it.
I'm Demetra. I'm 27. I live in Florida. And I found Winnie's community on Reddit almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years in March. And yeah, it's been completely life-changing. I wanted to be an actor ever since I was a kid. And my mom like signed me up for one of those places where they're like, we'll make you famous, like, you know, just pay all this money. And so I was like 12 years old and I tried that out, but they didn't even teach us like how to act. They just, you know, threw us into a room with hundreds of other kids. And it wasn't the best thing for me, just because like I've always been an anxious person. And so I kind of gave up on it for a long time, and was almost like resentful as I kept getting older, because I'd watch the, you know, TV shows and admire actors all the time, and just always saying like, I wish I could do that, you know, but I guess it's not for me. And so with the pandemic, like I found the Reddit, and like found Winnie's videos and how like caring and just like her technique and being open-minded, just talking about how like anybody can do it, like you just have to have the right resources. And so I was like, oh, maybe, you know, this is for me. And her teachings have been so helpful and have made me realize like, okay, you don't have to start out great, like you can get better and better over time. And I know that there's a place for me. And you know, seeing the actors I admire and thinking like, yeah, I can be as good as them. And I'm getting there slowly. So yeah, it's been amazing and life-changing. So
Demetra's been experimenting with a lot of different things. Like I tried doing a class about stand-up comedy last spring when I was off on hiatus. And she is now putting together some stand-up, and I think she's going to do really well at that. And that's, you know, it's always great for us to take a step into ways to break into the business. And that is one great way. And I keep pushing her because she is more of an inward person than an outward person. And she always chooses something a little bit more challenging for her. And this time I really pushed her.
To give anyone who's watching like insight, I'm basically playing an alcoholic and crack addict, so it's like very high energy. Now it's at the point where yeah, like it feels like me, I'm energized, like especially with the private session we had, that helped a lot, and I feel like I've really stepped into the character. So yeah, it's gotten better and better, and yeah, actually like having fun with it now.
Hi,
so.
I'm Albert. I've been taking classes for Winnie for over a year now. I want to say it's about a year and a half. But originally I didn't have any sort of acting experience whatsoever. And like this class, it really felt like this was the time that like everything just like came together, and everything that I've been learning all this time has just come together, and it not just impacted my scene, but it's impacted the way that I interact with life now. Like, because now everything is just, you know, you just go into it so much more open-minded, seeing what other people, how they impact you, how you impact them. And it's so life affirming. I don't know how else to put it. It's like, you just wake up and you just want to be there, whatever interaction it is that you have with people, and you want to engage with them, you want to be there with them, and have whatever it is that you're doing with them, because that is really what life is about. And like, as we are acting, as I learned through Winnie's classes, that's all we're doing. We're just really engaging with the other person. We're trying to achieve our objective. They're trying to do theirs, and we're all trying to just impact each other in a way that, just makes life better. And not only that, on and off screen, I've also done that with my friends. A lot of them, they also want to be actors. One of my closest friends, who I'm dying to get him in this class, he said, Albert, before I met you, I was a lot more shy about me wanting to be an artist. But, after meeting you and after seeing how you've changed and progressed, and I'm like, that you should get in this class. That's where I got it from. After seeing that, he was like, I always wanted to be a fashion person as well. And I'm like, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Him seeing me get into photography, getting into painting, getting into art, and being able to appreciate life more, because that's what we're doing. We're taking life and we're looking at it in a different way, where we can appreciate it, giving it to other people. And him seeing that, it opened him up so much more. And it might take some time, but you'll get that out of this class, and you'll feel that inside, and you'll be able to give that to other people. And I think throughout all this time, that's the most impactful thing that's happened to me since I've been here.
Have another brand new person to this class. I actually taught her when she was a kid for a little bit. And, she kind of, disappeared from my life for a while, and now she's back. Jose, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jose. I have been acting, like Winnie said, since I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I used to take classes with Winnie when I was young. And then I grew up and I went to college. I became an adult, and I wound up back in classes with Winnie. So I've had a lot of experience with different teachers, and, going to school and like really studying my art. And for a while, actually, I felt like this, like, not sadness, but this almost like yearning to, continue to learn and continue to work on my craft. Because like acting is like very much my purpose and something I love doing, and I want to do it for the rest of my life. And I'm glad to say that I've had the opportunity to like do it so far. So when I got back into classes, and this class in particular, it's been so fulfilling and like so fun. And when you are in classes and you're working with other people, collaboration is like so important, and it teaches you a lot, especially working with different people, because most of the time, like everyone has said, and especially Winnie has said, you're going to be working with all types of people, and you never know who you're working with, like ever. Well, at least while you're in class and collaborating with others, you're able to learn how to work with other people and learn new experiences from, other people, and hear what they have to say. And like just watching other people grow is like just as great. It's just acting is so fulfilling and like so fun. And I'm very grateful to have had like these past 5 weeks in this class with like an amazing partner, and this entire community has been so supportive and so great. So loved this class and I learned a lot. It was a part that I hadn't like completely played before. After working on it for these past 5 weeks, I've just learned to like really live in it, really enjoy it, and like feel it, get all up in it. And it's really great. It's been a really fulfilling experience. So I'm very grateful for this class.
I just want to encourage anybody that's watching to join us, because there is so much to, you wouldn't even think, you'd think, oh, it's just a Zoom class, but it's not just a Zoom class. It really is a community, and it really is, you learn so much, not just with your own scene partner, but watching everybody else because every week I really work every single pair of of scene partners, and you get to watch what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And it can really teach you so much about what you need to do to do some effective changes in your work.